Elaine Saxby.
Thank you, Mr Holloway, and it's a pleasure to serve under your chair. And I'd like to take the opportunity to thank my right honourable friend, the member for Carshalton and Wallington, for bringing forward this important debate, and also the Petitions Committee for allowing the time for those of us whose constituents have written to them copiously on this particular subject. And I warmly welcome the Animal Welfare Kept Animals Bill. Indeed, I was the Parliamentary Private Secretary on the Bill Committee at the time it went through just over a year ago, and I do very much hope that the new team at DEFRA will ensure that the bill once again gets going and that we can see it going through. In particular within the bill, I would particularly recognise and keen to welcome that dogs are so much more than property. Indeed, but hopefully that pets indeed will all be considered more than property. 97% of households with pets view those pets as part of the family. This is no surprise. The UK is a country of animal lovers. 6 in 10 households have some kind of pet, and the British people share their lives with around 13 million dogs. And speaking from very personal experience this weekend, our four-legged friends ensure we go out, whatever the weather, be it darkness or light, so that we exercise them. And if we are entirely honest about it, we treat them more like one of the family than the actual family. So this bill continues the work that has put the UK at the forefront of animal welfare. We are home to the RSPCA, the first animal welfare charity in the world, and now approaching its 200th birthday. This care for our animals shows in public surveys. The RSPCA found that 86% of the British public support measures to stop the illegal puppy trade, while 76% support a ban on the import of dogs with cropped ears. Since 2012, the Pet Travel Scheme, established to make it easier for people to take their pets on holiday with them, has been abused by unscrupulous pet traders. It allows you to bring in up to 5 pets per person in each motor vehicle. These traders bring in very young puppies, often in poor health and weakened by their long journey without suitable care. These are then sold on in the UK to unsuspecting buyers who often put significant resources into trying to save their new family member, not always successfully. Traders have responded to moves by potential buyers to be more responsible, who are then asked to see the puppy with the mother, by importing heavily pregnant mothers. Again, these mothers are not adequately cared for, and the Dogs Trust, in its tireless campaign to end puppy smuggling, has reported that it has taken 103 pregnant dogs into care in the last 2 years. As we're in the run-up to Christmas, these numbers are increasing, with 17 taken in September and October alone. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Dogs Trust for all their work on this issue, and in particular their branch in Ilfracombe in my North Devon constituency for all of the wonderful work that they do locally. I just wish they weren't quite so busy, particularly with this issue. Puppy smuggling is worth an estimated £3 million, and I welcome the move in this bill to limit the number of animals that are brought in to 5, which will limit the amount these traders can profit from their barbarous actions. But I do hope that the government will consider supporting the Dogs Trust call to lower this to 3, as 97.7% of dog owners in the UK own 3 or fewer dogs. I would also ask that in secondary legislation, the department looks at bringing in visual checks as a requirement. This would further hinder traders looking to bring in very young, sick or heavily pregnant dogs. Unfortunately, there is evidence that overseas vets are forging pet passports, so just documentation and identity checks are not robust enough to protect these dogs. Our dogs are sentient animals, friends and family members, highly attuned to the emotional state of their family. When times are tough, they support us and bring love and joy to people across the UK. They deserve our support and protection. And I hope that this bill comes back to the House swiftly so that by next Christmas, fewer animals suffer at the hands of unscrupulous traders. As a dog owner myself, I have focused my comments this afternoon primarily on puppy smuggling. But it would be remiss not to mention the concerns particularly voiced by the Blue Cross that the theft of a much-loved pet excludes cats in the bill's current format, and indeed horses. There is clearly scope within the bill to extend the theft clause, as I suspect the 11 million cats in the country are loved almost as much as my beloved Labrador Henry, and their theft would be equally distressing. And whilst horses generally do not live in most of their owners' houses, the bond between owner and horse, particularly given how long-lived so many of them are, is clearly very great. I do hope the government will reconsider theft beyond just dogs, as we are that nation of animal lovers, which unfortunately puts a value onto our pets that others exploit beyond just our canine companions. There is much to commend this bill, and I do very much hope that the new ministerial team at DEFRA will expedite its parliamentary progress to the statute books.